of medicine, and you get the help. Now, if you've tried everything to ease your back pain, your neck pain, foot pain, arthritis pain, then this is the show for you. There's a revolutionary cure for pain that few doctors know about because it's not a new pill or surgery. It uses moving magnets, energy waves that change the way your body copes with pain. Wait till you see what we found. You may not realize it, and you certainly can't feel it, but inside each of us is a raging electrical storm. A biological whirlwind that controls every cell, every nerve, every muscle, every thought. How you experience pleasure, and even how you experience pain. What if you could harness this powerful force field inside of you to feel better, sleep longer, and most miraculous of all, ease your chronic aches and pains? That's the promise of magnetic therapy, which uses the power of magnetic energy to redirect electrical impulses to the areas where you feel pain, so relief and healing can begin. The FDA has already cleared pulse magnetic therapy for fusing broken bones, treating severe, untreatable depression, and now to treat post-operative pain and swelling. It sounds like science fiction, but is magnetic therapy for real? Are we finally on the brink of a whole new frontier to reduce, even erase, your pain?
The benefits of pulsating electromagnetic field therapy on your immune system. Increased oxygenation of the cells. The cells in our bodies require oxygen to produce heat and energy. After our lungs extract the oxygen from the air, the arteries carry it in the blood back to the bodily organs. PEMF therapy aids this process by helping individual cells absorb oxygen better. Reduced inflammation. Inflammation is the result of the body trying to repair damaged cells by increasing blood flow to diseased or injured tissues. While this is generally a beneficial process for the body, persistent and chronic inflammation can generate pain. PEMF treatment is known to reduce chronic inflammation and ease pain. It can be especially useful in the case of chronic inflammatory diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, and tendinitis. It has also been shown to improve bone regeneration in patients suffering from bone-destroying diseases such as osteoporosis, osteopenia, and arthritis. PEMF improves sleep. PEMF therapy stimulates the pituitary gland to produce the human growth hormone, HGH, and melatonin. HGH helps with cell reproduction and regeneration, and melatonin is a key hormone in promoting healthy sleep and anti-aging. PEMF also helps with neurological disorders. PEMF stimulates neurons and brain cells to regenerate and return to normal function. This helps to treat diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, depression, and phobias. Countering harmful EMFs, Wi-Fi routers, and 5G. We are surrounded by power frequencies and wireless radio frequency telecommunication devices 24/7. These frequencies have detrimental effects on our sleep patterns and our cells' power generating capacity. PEMF therapy devices block out these harmful EMFs, making them relatively harmless. One 30-minute treatment of pulsating electromagnetic field therapy a day is all you need. Pulsating electromagnetic field therapy versus EMFs and 5G. An electromagnetic field, often referred to as an EMF, is born when electrons begin to accelerate. Upon movement, charged particles create fields. These fields, depending on their frequency and intensity, can be harmful for the cells. Many high-frequency EMFs cause radiation damage to the cells. 5G, or fifth-generation technology, refers to the latest trend in wireless systems, involving larger channels, higher speeds, and the ability to connect a host of devices from one location. New 5G networks generate radio frequency radiation that can damage DNA and lead to cancer, cause oxidative damage that can cause premature aging, disrupt cell metabolism, and potentially lead to other diseases through the generation of stress proteins. Pulsating electromagnetic field therapy uses frequencies that balance the ion concentration of your cells to protect them against EMFs, including 5G. 5G cannot damage your cells if they are healthy and protected. Imagine creating a shield for your cells. This is exactly what PEMF therapy does. Pulsating electromagnetic field therapy versus viral infections. The immune system is powerful, and when it is nurtured, it can prevent viruses and other infections from developing. However, an immune system that is compromised may not be so fortunate. Illnesses and diseases can be frequent and difficult to overcome for those who have autoimmune diseases. The good news is that pulsating electromagnetic fields can help. There are some basic principles that reveal how PEMFs strengthen the body from viruses. PEMFs are a natural occurrence, and the Earth has electromagnetic fields of its own. These electromagnetic fields force dangerous particles away from the Earth. Without these fields, the cosmic rays and solar winds would be dangerous to the human race. In the same way, electromagnetic fields protect the human body. Delivering gentle pulses to the human body can aid in healing of diseases, healing of fractures, getting better sleep, renewing energy, and much more. Scientific research has shown us that in the last 15 years, the Earth's electromagnetic field has weakened. It is also known that during the last 15 years, more cancers and mysterious viruses have developed. It seems that the flu is impossible to prevent as new strains continue to develop each year. There are now more cases of Parkinson's, MS, and Alzheimer's disease reported in the last 15 years as well. The electromagnetic fields of the Earth are what aid in balancing the natural circadian rhythm. These fields also help build and maintain the health of the immune system and prevent diseases. A balanced and strong immune system can ward off the work of tiny germs before they turn into a full-blown virus. Even if a virus develops, it will run a much shorter course than it did prior to PEMF therapy.
I am Bob Dennis, have a PhD in biomedical engineering, and I am a medical device designer. So I design a lot of different medical devices, but in the last 10 years or so, I've been focusing most of my energy on designing my own device, a PEMF, to deal with a terrible chronic pain I had from an injury as a firefighter. So as a volunteer firefighter, I really hurt my back, and nothing was helping, and so they were prescribing, I had bottles of oxycodone, right? And that would take my pain from a solid 10, it would take it down to maybe a 7, 6 or 7. Okay. So I could kind of walk, but that was about it. I wasn't fully functional at all. And about 7 or 8 years ago, I decided to dust off an old technology I developed for NASA back in 1996, 1997, which was this PEMF. And I was making them for industrial applications, so they're kind of big, like microwave oven sized, with big coils. And I just sat back in a coil, just out of sheer desperation. It was 1 in the morning, and I was just in so much pain, couldn't sleep, couldn't lie down. Medication was doing nothing but giving me brain fog. And 14 minutes into it, all of a sudden, I got this great back adjustment, click, 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 click. So intense that I actually saw stars counter-rotating. And I thought, as a back pain sufferer, I thought, oh boy, I've really done it now. I'm in trouble. But then I realized, well, there's no pain. So it was the first time I hadn't had pain in a couple of years. And then I was, wow, maybe I'm okay. So then I didn't use it again for 3 or 4 days, and the pain started to come back. I used the PEMF again, this big industrial unit I had built for on contract.
Okay.
How
did you make it for them?
Well, it was for a company that licensed the PEMF technology from NASA for biomolecules. So they were using it to control gene expression for biomolecules for making cosmetics, of all things. Okay. So it's a failed company, but that's what they were trying to do, was make growth factors. They were trying to make growth factors in a bioreactor for mass-producing cosmetics. So they were using this PEMF system that we had shown at NASA can upregulate growth factors in cells and culture. It makes sense, right? So anyway, I had this big system sitting there. It was like $70-something thousand, but you know, for them, for industrial processing. And I just sat back on it, and it seemed to help my back the first time. And then, you know, I'm sort of a scientist, kind of skeptical. Yeah, well, whatever. Maybe it's just lucky. Maybe it's just the shape of the plastic coil and nothing to do with the electromagnetism. So I tried it again after a few days, and the pain came back, and boom, it's gone again. So I did this a few times, and finally a thick-headed, okay, there's something really here, right? Well, this isn't going to help anybody if it's like the size of a microwave oven and costs as much as 2 cars or 3 cars. You know, it's got to be different. So I spent a lot of time making a much smaller, more portable unit, which maybe I'll just pull one out of my pocket, because I wear it every, well, I wear it every day because I have to. So I wear this little thing, so now I can make it. It's 52 grams, has a camcorder battery, and plugs in some coils, and I just put it on my back and walk around with it on my back. And as long as I wear one 2-3 times a week, unlike oxycodone, which would bring my pain down to a 7 or a 6 out of 10, this brings it to a 0 or maybe a 1. Really? Oh yeah, totally. So non-invasive, non-drug. And the other thing is I've been using it every other day to every day for maybe 6 years now. And the interesting thing is that you don't build up a resistance. You don't habituate to it like you do to a drug. It's actually, I use it on a lower setting. So something about PEMF seems to have, and it's very interesting to study. It's hard to study, but it's interesting. It seems to have the effect that your body doesn't accommodate to it like it does to a narcotic. What happens is it reduces inflammation, which I have test data to show that that's true from an independent test lab, that PEMF can actually reduce inflammation. So I think what's happening is it allows tissue to recover. So actually, over time, you need less PEMF, not more. It's not likely that it's, you know, doing these things that marketers talk about, like charging mitochondria or charging cell walls. I think that's a secondary effect. I think the primary effect is that it's sending an anti-inflammatory signal. So we know that it does that it seems to reduce the inflammation. We also know it changes the cytokine signaling, like interleukin-6 and, you know, IL-6 and different cytokines that are related to inflammation. So we know it's doing that. We have data for that. We don't know how. We don't know the biophysics of how this electric current causes that effect. So that's the part of PEMF that's missing. But that's all subject to research, right? And then on the far end, on the biological clinical end, when you reduce inflammation, you get all these really great clinical benefits. So on the far end, there's over 1,000 papers published. You can look. This is just a matter of fact. You can search PEMF and you will get thousands of hits.
I'm Dr. Terry Schroeder. I'm a chiropractor. I've been practicing for 32 years with my wife, Lori. We have a family practice. We've been able to help a lot of people over the years. I've been very blessed in my life. I've been an Olympian, got to compete in the Olympics 4 times. I've been an Olympic coach 2 times, 2008, 2012. Between coaching and playing, we've won 3 silver medals. So I've been able to play and coach at that highest level and just feel really blessed to be in the profession and be able to help a lot of people. I've been a user of PEMF technology for about 3 years now, and it is amazing. PEMF makes everything in your body function better. It's pulsed electromagnetic fields. It puts energy into your body. It's like plugging in your cell phone at night and charging that battery. People feel more energy, they heal better, they recover better. Treat athletes, you can treat people that are elderly with degenerative joint disease, neuropathies. This works well for anybody, and this technology is amazing. I'd recommend it highly for anybody who's looking to help their patients at a higher level. It's simple, it's natural. PEMF is basically using the Earth's energy to heal. And by making every cell in the body, you're upregulating the system and making people healthier.
I've always had an interest in energetic medicine. Over the last few years, I've studied a lot of the research in the biology of electrical currents and so forth. And I'd say it goes back to the days when Robert Becker, MD, came out with his very popular books, Cross Currents and the Body Electric. And in studying those books, it made me realize that there is energy all around us. Some of it is harmful, some could be beneficial. And so energy has a biological effect on the body. And so Being a chiropractor also and understanding how energy controls function in the body through the nervous system, I became fascinated with that. Even to the extent that studying how the connective tissue has a communication pathway in it itself. And so Dr. Becker's work was kind of pioneering in the area of energy medicine. Since then, I've studied James Oshman's work. Energy Medicine actually is one of his books, fabulous science-based book on the biology and effects of current and communication pathways throughout the body. In fact, Dr. Becker's work was seminal in that he was the one that discovered that very subtle currents were able to have a healing effect on the body. In the laboratory, he was able to cut tails off of salamanders and grow them back with just the correct amount of current. And his work has actually progressed to today's bone stimulators. So the bone stimulators of today are based on the pioneering work of Dr. Becker. Trauma, other things like that, even chronic conditions. So that's one of the very top things that I have had tremendous results with. Two of the other things that come to mind are people tend to either be fatigued, in other words, they don't have as much energy as they would like to have, or when they go to bed at night, they can't sleep. Their bodies are amped up and they're in a hyper-sympathetic state from going all day, and they can't shut it down and they don't rest well. And if you don't sleep well, your body can't heal. Your body can't be healthy. So with the PEMF technology, one of the beautiful things about it is you can utilize frequencies that will either excite or increase the amount of energy in the body, or frequencies that will sedate or reduce the amount of hyperactivity in the body. The amazing and really cool thing about PEMF is you can use frequencies that turn on the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the polar opposite of the fight or flight response. So in doing so, it calms the body down into more of a resting tone or state, and that allows the body to heal the way it's designed to heal. Inflammation is certainly a very hot topic right now. Systemic inflammation has been linked to virtually all of the chronic diseases of aging. So anything that a person can do to reduce systemic inflammation is going to benefit them, whether it be diet, lifestyle, behavioral, or therapeutic approaches to reducing inflammation. The more you can reduce inflammation, the more you can mitigate the effects of inflammation on the progression and development and even initiation of these types of diseases of aging. PEMF and enhanced recovery, there's no doubt about it. Speed healing from injury, help the body to respond faster to other treatments as well. So to me, PEMF is just a natural, synergistic complement to anything else that's done in the training room by the athletic trainers, physical therapists, chiropractors, etc. I really believe that, number one, trauma is accumulative in the body. So athletes are going to experience trauma on their day-to-day activities, whether it's repetitive motion from standing in the batter's box and swinging a bat, or whether you're getting slammed into the boards as a hockey player or a football player going, colliding with another athlete. Every athlete is going to experience trauma. Even long-distance runners experience a lot of trauma in their body just from running. The ground reaction force is coming up through their ankles and knees and hips and up into their body. So every athlete's going to experience trauma. The name of the game is how quickly you can recover from that trauma, how quickly your body is able to go back out at 100% and be able to withstand those forces again on the body without adding another layer of inflammation and debilitation to the body that you've already experienced. So in my mind, these kinds of technologies can help with longevity because it will just do just that. It'll help to allow the athlete to recover faster, get back in the game with zero, perfect tolerance for more trauma again, which they certainly will experience.
To the world of PEMF users and practitioners and evangelists like me, keep spreading the word. The world needs to know about this technology. I am an elite performer. I love it. I am a mommy. I am a woman trying to live the best life I can. Your devices help me. So thank you. Good luck. Godspeed. Spread the good word. PEMF is the real deal.